Richard Cory. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from sole to crown, clean-favored, and imperially slim. And he was always quietly arrayed. He was always human when he talked, but still he fluttered pulses when he said, "Good morning," and he glittered when he walked. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought he was everything, which made us wish that we were in his place. And so on we worked, and waited for the light. We went without the meat, and cursed the bread, and Richard Cory, on one calm summer night, went home, and put a bullet through his head. This is my grandfather. You wish to know all about my grandfather. Well, he is nearly 93 years old. He dresses himself in an ancient black frock coat, usually minus several buttons. Still, he thinks as swiftly as ever. A long, flowing oval beard clings about his chin, giving all who observe him a feeling of the utmost respect. When he speaks, his voice is just a bit cracked and quivers a little. The strength is gone. Twice a day he plays skillfully and with zest upon a small electric piano. Except in the winter, when the ooze or snow or ice prevents, he slowly takes a short walk across the college athletic field. In February he can cross the campus to the library. We have often urged him to walk more and smoke less, but he always answers, "Banana oil." Then he stomps through the frost and the mists, roaring above the raging, restless river. He adjusts his battered, buttonless coat, purses his wrinkled lips across his toothless, trembling jaw, and repeats more vigorously, "Banana oil. There is no law in the land that can stop me. Anyway, such a law is inconceivable." Grandfather likes to be modern in his language, as you can easily see. Still, for all of this and all of that, my grandfather is a man. He has been a man among all men for the length of his 93 years. This is the story of the time that I thought that I was almost going to die. So where I grew up, a lot of the kids rode four-wheelers, motorcycles, and go-karts. I had recently gotten my go-kart. I was about 6 years old, almost. I had gotten it maybe 6 months before my 6th birthday. So for my 6th birthday, my dad decided to get me a four-wheeler to go along with my go-kart. Now the night before this, my dad had let me stay up to watch an episode of Cops with him. In the episode, a woman was driving on the highway when her brakes stopped working. So in her last-ditch effort, she decided to jump out of the car on the highway while it was still in motion. The next day, I went to my dad's friend's house so he could teach me how to ride. And he had a lot of land and a huge track that circled the property. My dad taught me where the brake was, he told me where the gas was, he told me how to steer. He also told me that he would be right behind me on his motorcycle if I needed anything, to just wave behind and he would be there. So we got going and I was doing pretty well until we got to the first corner. I knew that I needed to brake in order to turn, but for some reason I just couldn't move. I was helpless. I just froze. I could see what looked like to be a cliff in front of me, so in my last-ditch effort, I jumped off the four-wheeler. My dad screamed my name as he jumped off of his motorcycle and ran to me. I was okay, but the four-wheeler, not so much. We watched as the four-wheeler went over the cliff and hit a tree trunk that was laying on its side and went in the air and flipped up. I just remember my dad telling me, "You're lucky to be alive." That following evening, my mom came home from work and I told her, "Mom, I almost died." She wasn't too happy with my dad, but turns out I would have been fine, but I thought I was going to die.